Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince is often regarded as one of the most controversial and influential political texts in Western thought. Written in 1513, it offered a bold departure from the idealistic, moralistic political theories that preceded it. At the heart of Machiavelli's treatise is the idea that political rulers must not only accept but embrace the use of deceit, manipulation, and other morally ambiguous tactics in order to maintain power and ensure the stability of their states. For Machiavelli, the ends of statecraft, namely maintaining control, stability, and survival, justify the means, even if those means are deceptive, ruthless, or otherwise unethical. In a world fraught with betrayal, shifting alliances, and constant threats, Machiavelli saw political life as a battlefield in which appearances often matter more than reality, and where ethical standards are often secondary to political survival. This essay explores the role of deception in Machiavellian politics, analyzing its various functions, whether to maintain control, outmaneuver rivals, or stabilize power, and interrogating whether Machiavelli's endorsement of such tactics represents a fundamentally dishonest worldview or a pragmatic response to the inherent complexities of governance. Welcome to the unfolding journey on this YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the philosophies and strategies that have shaped history. Today, we'll be unraveling the controversial yet compelling ideas of Niccolò Machiavelli, focusing on his perspective on power, deception, and political survival. If you find these insights engaging, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on future content exploring the timeless lessons of political thought. To understand Machiavelli's ideas on deception, it is crucial to examine the political context in which he wrote. Born in 1469 in Florence, Machiavelli lived during a time of intense political fragmentation in Italy. The peninsula was not a unified nation, but a collection of city-states, each with its own ambitions, rivalries, and shifting allegiances. Florence, Milan, Venice, Naples, and the Papal States were embroiled in constant conflicts, and foreign powers, most notably France and Spain, interfered regularly in Italian affairs. This environment of instability provided Machiavelli with a unique vantage point on political leadership. Machiavelli himself was an active participant in this chaotic political landscape. He served as a diplomat for the Republic of Florence and witnessed firsthand the rise and fall of political leaders. He observed how rulers like Cesare Borgia, the son of Pope Alexander VI, employed ruthless strategies to consolidate power, using manipulation and deceit to outsmart his enemies. Borgia's ability to strategically eliminate rivals, forge temporary alliances, and maintain control through fear and intimidation had a profound influence on Machiavelli's political philosophy. The political fragmentation of Italy meant that loyalty was often fleeting and betrayal was common. In such a context, traditional virtues such as honesty, loyalty, and justice were often impractical in the pursuit of power. Machiavelli's own experiences with political failure and the collapse of the Florentine Republic only deepened his belief that morality and idealism were luxuries that rulers could not afford. Instead, Machiavelli's writings offer a starkly pragmatic view of governance, one that prioritizes effective statecraft over conventional morality. Machiavelli's endorsement of deception in politics is central to his theory of power. In The Prince, he argues that a ruler's ability to manipulate public perception is one of the most powerful tools at their disposal. The use of deception is not seen as an end in itself, but rather as a means to secure political survival. Machiavelli identifies several key functions of deception in the pursuit of power. One of the primary ways in which deception plays a role in Machiavellian politics is through its ability to maintain control over subjects and prevent rebellion. Machiavelli asserts that it is better for a ruler to be feared than loved if they cannot be both. Fear, in Machiavelli's view, is a more reliable motivator than love because it is easier to control and less likely to change over time. However, the ruler must be careful not to incite hatred, which could lead to rebellion. Deception is a key strategy in ensuring that fear remains effective without crossing into hatred. A ruler can manipulate the perceptions of their subjects, projecting an image of benevolence and justice while covertly taking harsh actions when necessary. The ruler's public persona must be carefully crafted, with deceit used to create the illusion of virtuous leadership, even if the ruler's actions do not match this image. King Louis XI of France provides a historical example of a ruler who successfully used deception to maintain control. Louis was known for his cunning manipulation of the French nobility. He fostered loyalty by playing one faction off against another, employing spies, and using propaganda to create a sense of unity while secretly undermining potential rivals. Louis was not beloved by his subjects or the nobility, but he was feared. By creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, Louis was able to maintain his authority over a fractured and unruly court. Another vital role that deception plays in Machiavelli's political strategy is the ability to outmaneuver rivals. In an environment where power is constantly shifting, a ruler must be able to deceive competitors, mislead them about their intentions, and disguise their true capabilities. By presenting false information or creating diversions, a ruler can neutralize threats before they even emerge. Cesare Borgia, one of Machiavelli's key exemplars of effective leadership, provides another illustration of how deception can be used to outsmart rivals. Borgia's rise to power was marked by a series of strategic manipulations, including the use of false promises and alliances. Borgia's political career demonstrated how successfully manipulating the perceptions of others could allow a ruler to neutralize enemies, gain followers, and ultimately seize power. Machiavelli praises Borgia's ability to deceive others into underestimating him, enabling him to consolidate his power swiftly. Finally, deception plays a crucial role in stabilizing power over the long term. A ruler who can effectively manage both internal dissent and external threats is more likely to maintain control and ensure the survival of their state. In many cases, this requires deception on a grand scale, such as manipulating the public narrative, creating the illusion of stability, or using propaganda to pacify restive subjects. One of the most notable examples of a ruler who used deception to stabilize power is Augustus Caesar, the first emperor of Rome. After years of civil war, Augustus presented himself as the savior of the Roman Republic, despite the fact that he was consolidating power under an autocratic regime. Through clever propaganda and political manipulation, Augustus presented his rise to power as a return to traditional Republican values, even as he simultaneously built the foundations of the Roman Empire. Augustus's success in stabilizing Rome after decades of instability was largely due to his ability to deceive the Roman populace into believing that their interests were being served, even as he centralized authority in his own hands. While Machiavelli's advocacy for deception in politics may seem morally questionable, it is important to understand the pragmatism underlying his philosophy. Machiavelli was not suggesting that rulers should engage in deceit for the sake of immorality, but rather as a necessary tool in the difficult and often dangerous game of politics. Machiavelli's approach is grounded in his understanding of human nature. He argues that people are inherently self-interested and often act out of fear, greed, or ambition rather than virtue. Given this, rulers must be adept at understanding these motivations and using them to their advantage. In Machiavelli's view, a ruler who relies solely on moral virtue or ethical ideals will inevitably be undermined by those who are willing to use any means necessary to achieve their goals. The use of fear is a key aspect of Machiavelli's strategy for maintaining control, and it requires a certain amount of deception. A ruler must strike a delicate balance, creating an atmosphere of fear that prevents rebellion while avoiding the excesses that could turn fear into hatred. To this end, Machiavelli advises rulers to be cautious about their actions, but never hesitate to employ force or deceit if necessary to preserve their power. Machiavelli introduces the concept of virtue, which refers to a ruler's ability to adapt to changing circumstances and seize opportunities. While virtue often includes qualities like courage, wisdom, and decisiveness, it also involves the ability to be ruthless and deceptive when required. A successful ruler must possess the ability to act decisively, even when it requires acting outside the bounds of traditional moral expectations. This pragmatism reflects the harsh realities of leadership, where success often depends on the ability to navigate complex and unpredictable political environments. The ethical implications of Machiavelli's endorsement of deception are profound and contentious. Critics have long accused Machiavelli of promoting a cynical and unscrupulous vision of politics, one that undermines trust, promotes dishonesty, and encourages tyrannical rule. However, others argue that Machiavelli is simply offering a realistic and pragmatic approach to the challenges of governance. Machiavelli himself acknowledges the tension between morality and effective leadership. While he does not entirely dismiss traditional moral values, he suggests that they must be subordinated to the practical demands of political life. Rulers who are overly concerned with ethics may find themselves overthrown by more ruthless competitors. In Machiavelli's view, political leaders must navigate this moral ambiguity and make difficult decisions to safeguard the state. The debate over whether Machiavelli's approach fosters a culture of mistrust and cynicism or offers a necessary corrective to idealistic political theory has persisted for centuries. Some philosophers, such as Immanuel Kant, argue that moral principles should always guide political action. In contrast, Machiavelli challenges this view by highlighting the complexities of political life, where moral actions are often at odds with the demands of survival and power. Machiavelli's influence extends far beyond the Renaissance. His ideas have been adapted and applied by political leaders, strategists, and thinkers throughout history. Today, his teachings continue to resonate in the realms of political campaigns, international relations, and even corporate strategy. Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency offers a modern example of Machiavellian tactics in action. FDR was known for his skillful use of communication and public relations to shape public perception. His fireside chats, which created an intimate connection with the American public, were designed to present an image of empathy and transparency, even as he employed controversial policies. Through strategic manipulation of public opinion, Roosevelt was able to maintain support for his New Deal programs and solidify his leadership during the Great Depression. In conclusion, Machiavelli's endorsement of deception in politics is not a call for unchecked dishonesty, but rather a recognition of the harsh realities of political life. His work provides a nuanced and pragmatic understanding of leadership, emphasizing that the preservation of power and the stability of the state often require rulers to engage in deception and manipulation. While his ideas have been criticized for promoting cynicism and undermining ethical governance, Machiavelli's insights remain relevant today, offering a lens through which to understand the complex relationship between morality, power, and political survival. Ultimately, Machiavelli challenges us to reconsider our understanding of virtue in politics, urging us to recognize the moral ambiguities that shape the conduct of rulers and the fate of states. If you found this exploration of Machiavelli's ideas insightful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who are interested in the complexities of power and politics. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the most fascinating political theories and historical figures. Join the journey and become part of our growing community of thinkers and history enthusiasts.